Hey y'all, I'm just finishing up my slide for my directive research project. Some of you might not know, some of you do know that part of the many things that I am doing is doing an undergrad studies at Tyndale University. I started it since 2017, little by little, and my presentation um, for this part of the program, the directive research component, is going to be this Thursday. I'm going to go live, um, and I'm going to tie in many things that's happening right now, including the tragic uh, events that occurred on the 13th. And on the 13th, um, things were happening even in my world that made me know that um, Richard was an energy that connected many people. And I started this research project way before even knowing Richard, and it's now coming to an end August 10th. So this Thursday. And this is what my project was on and is on. And that's my research topic. Now, the presentation itself, as I said, my time slot is going to be the 8:38. I'm going to ask my classmates if they would want to participate and for me to do the entire presentation live, because their topics are very, very, very impactful as well. But my time slot for my presentation is 8:38. The entire research itself is over 36 pages, but we only going to be doing at least 12 minutes of just presenting an overview of it. But the overview of it is going to be very powerful. And as I said, this occurred before I met Richard, and the 13th was also a day that we check in. The class checks in and we see where we are at on our project. And that day was it was a day that that when you say everything makes sense, because that day was very, very weird in many ways. And I even made mention in class, and my professor would remember exactly what happened with me on that day. And it's all making sense when I heard of Richard's passing and it occurring on the 13th, the same day when things were crazy occurring. So I've included him, and an entire page of my research was re-edited to include why this blaming and shaming of the outside, destroying our allies, is not in our best interest. The way for us to heal is that we as a community need to deal with the elephant in the room. So I'm gonna be streaming my portion live on the 10th of August. It's scheduled for 8:38, but we'll see if we're running on time or not. So stay tuned. Put that on your calendar for those that would be interested. My segment, everybody's about 12 minutes. It's not going to be more than 15 minutes, my segment. And I'm going to demonstrate the tie-in. And I'm dedicating my, that's one of my slides, to Richard. He had no idea I had started this research project months ago. I actually started it during the lockdown. My first attempt in the directive research project was, I believe it was in 21 or 22, one of those. But I just put a pause in it because my mind and everything there was too much going on. And I picked it up again, and we crossed paths, and everything is meaningful. So he's a part. dedicated a section of my research to Richard and showing the connection of this blame and shame Marxist kind of approach, not even kind of, it is, and stating it's going to assist in equality, and it's not. So my presentation of my research project is going to be next week, the 10th. It's scheduled for 8:38. I am going to go live. I'm going to ask my colleagues as well if they would like to be a part of it. So then it would start much earlier, because their segments it's going to be starting at 5:30, and we're going to be every one of us have 12 minutes, 10 slides, and all of that. So it's going to be an interesting day. It's going to be next week, as I said, August 10th. And if you want to just take a look and take a peek and take a listen as to what we're all doing research projects on, and their topics that they're researching is every one of them are relevant to the right now. So August 10th, next week, 8:38 for sure for me is when I'm going to be up to do my PowerPoint of my project, my directive research project. And I'm going to end this live with this video that came in my memory in my Facebook. You know, you have your Facebook memory. Let me see if it's still there. Did it go? Let me see if it's still there or if it went. But it was very, again, timely. I'm gonna try to pull it up because I want to end it on that video. And I think I found it. Yes, I found it. Okay. So I'm going to end it on this video. And this is an interview. And the quality is going to show you how old this interview is. And it's the same statement that was said back then, that our community, the African diaspora community, must start addressing and owning. It's an old statement said by one of our ancestors who rightfully divided exactly what is going on. She was being interviewed by a journalist, an Anglo-Saxon journalist, and it's the same generational question of, how can we heal? Can you forgive? And she just told her exactly the correct response that members in our community, in my African community, diaspora community, it's time for us to accept this statement. There's no one to blame. The blame and shame has to end. And the director of education of TDSB, I'm just in shock as to whatever strategy and mindset thought that addressing our educational problems for children of African descent. I have no idea why anyone would have believed that this avenue is how we address it. The blame, the shame, the Marxism, the critical race theory, the this, the that, the taking away, the helpless syndrome. I have no idea who sold that. And it was bought to be effective. I'm just beside myself, and that's why I've just been in shock since 2020 as to the people that I'm seeing who are in positions, those that I know and I knew in the advocacy fight. Now they're in position of change, and this is what you're doing. This is how this is the solution. I'm shocked, disappointed, frustrated, angry. I'm just like, I just got to shake my head. So I'm going to end my live with this. Again, my presentation is next Thursday, August 10th, for my directive research project. I started this way months ago. As I said, in 2021, I put a pause on it, and now 2023, I'm coming to the end of it. I'm going to be doing my presentation August 10th. My time is 8:38. You can go to the beginning of the video. You'll see the time slot. And we're going to address I am going to address exactly what I've always known to truly be what the issue is. And it's not the outside that we're blaming. We have to stop. It's imperative that we stop the blaming and the shaming and the finger pointing outside. It's the inside. So I'm going to wrap it up with this very old school interview.
Is it over? Is it over? Well, if this is your impression, do you think that you can ever forgive us? It's not a question of forgiveness. I have nothing against you. My point is that you did and you are doing for your survival what is necessary. We can't blame you for that. The fact that we didn't do enough for our own survival and we are still not doing enough for our survival, that is not your problem. You know, even everybody that God has created has a sense of survival, you know, and if we don't develop it, we can't blame white people. You came here because you needed these things. You took gunpowder from the Chinese. You needed them to shoot people.
So that is a video that we had since 2020. You saw the timestamp there, and I was reminded of it from my other Facebook page, Least Inc., my for-profit entity that has been one of my passions to grow, and it is going to grow. Everything is in its time, and everything is in its stage. So that was posted to 2020 over there on Least Inc. And I got a notification in Facebook about something else, another video. And as I was just perusing through, I saw that and I was like, oh my gosh, that's beautiful. I'm going to see how I can incorporate that snippet at the end of my presentation. That's going to be on August 10th. So join me August 10th. My presentation time is 8:38. I'm going to ask my other academic scholars who's taking the course if they would like to be part of the live, and we might be able to do all of their presentations on my live for you to hear the scholars and where we are all thinking, where we're all going. What happened in the past 2 years it hasn't gone unnoticed for those who are aware. And I said to many, and I've said it again, the way in which the freedom movement decided to fight this fight, the more and more I've analyzed, because I was in it behind the scenes, of those that, many of you followed, and I saw the decisions that many of them made, and the decisions were intentional to keep this going. And when I shared the truth with many of you, you guys got upset because it's people that you like. You like whistleblowers that tell you about the people you don't like. But the ones that you've decided to hold in high regard, when the whistle is blown about what they're doing and what they're intentionally keeping alive for you to continually fight, that benefits them, you get upset and you get mad. And you get upset at the messenger. But it doesn't change the fact that they have prolonged it. And many of us, we're just moving forward. We're moving forward with our research in different topics that are all going to complement where we are moving towards, and to help and assist the next generation in coping in this world that many of you have allowed to exist as a result of complacency, and always believing that you do not have or you do not possess your own critical thinking, so you give it to others to think for you. And 99% of the time, you give it to your open enemies to do the thinking for you.
And it never turns out well for humanity. So hopefully you join me next week. And it's going to be a great day for the revelation of things that needs to be revealed. Have a wonderful rest of your day. This is Lady O. Stay in action, faith, and possibility. Walk in and protect your light. Your purpose will find you. Say what you mean and live like you mean what you say. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.